So, I've heard MG Unicorn kits are all nightmare builds, hand grenades, they're easy to break, they're not really worth picking up. Well, in this video, I'm going to see for myself. However, I didn't buy any normal MG Unicorn or even one of the Vercar kits. I've got the MG Unicorn HD Colour with MS Cage. It's a bit of a mouthful. This video is going to be a bit of a change in how I do things. I need to try and stick with a video each week, but with full-time work, I need to find a way that enables that. So I'll be focusing on elements of the build rather than just snapping together each part. So let's have a look what comes in the box. This cost me just under 70 quid from Gunpla UK. Comes on 28 sprues with some dry decals and stickers. And has 5 of those little minifigures, one of which is the pilot. Including all the customisation work, and there is a lot of that. It took me about 15 hours, I'd say. Looking at the outside of the box, this is a lot wider than normal. It's the same size as a normal Master Grade box, but obviously with that cage part there, the grey part I'm picking up now, it just has like an extra bit added on the side. I love the colours on this. It says HD colour, and that watermelon pinkish red that you use for the inner frame is incredible. It really pops. It's a really nice one, and I've got a few unicorns. This one sticks out to me. Have a quick look at the instructions, and they're great Gunpla instructions. You get some nice colour artwork. It's a big build because it is a Master Grade unicorn, and the cage part is a substantial part of the build too. So as I said, I'm going to try and focus on some different parts, and here I'm going to look at the customisation I did. I didn't use the stickers on the unicorn's horn, instead just painted it using some Gundam markers. I also used some Citadel paints for Games Workshop stuff. And as you can see, I've picked out some of the details on the inner frame. That cage, I did actually put quite a bit of effort into that. I also want to show off some of the dry decals. Now, I've not really used these before. So typically you get water slide decals with Gundam model kits. Everyone knows what they're like. You cut them out, you submerge them in water till the decal loosens off, and then using either a cocktail stick or a cotton bud, you kind of like put it in place and then hope they stay on. Use some setters if you can, because I'm not always the best with them. Whereas these, you cut them out, they're on this transparent plastic, and then you overlay them onto the part. They kind of want to stick on anyway. It does feel tacky to the touch. And then kind of like a lottery scratch card, you just scratch it on. I'm using the back of my hobby knife. It's not too sharp, so it seemed to work quite well when I did that for these. And what I also do, and I show here as well, is I try to make sure that I get a couple cuts in when I cut out decals. Either set up the next one on the cutout, or make sure that if there's like 20 of them, that I'm not going to make the first 4 easy to do, but the last 16 difficult. So always try to cut out in clusters or set up those block of decals for that. They go on really nice. They stay on really well as well. I didn't even need to use a matte hobby coat on top of this, flat coat on top of this. And as you can see, there are a ton of decals on here. I did use all of them, but I don't show that in this video. I just wanted to show some of them. Just going to take a look at the final assembly of the model now. I did say that I want to stop showing so much of the video because it takes up a lot of time when I'm cutting out the parts. Some of these kits can have 500 parts, and to produce a video like that each week, it is quite difficult. It takes a lot of time. But I do want to show the assembly of the kit because you can see how they're made up. I get to showcase some of the extra work I've done, whether that's panel lining or putting some decals on, putting some stickers on. And also just demonstrate how the kits move and how they work, and I do that with the weapons later. Everyone's always said how flimsy the unicorns are, the MG ones, but look at this, it's really solid. Nothing pops off, all the joints feel really tight, but not too tight that it's hard to pose. I have used the single unicorn spike. And you can see from the shield there some of that custom work, a bit of gold on the back, and the articulation here with that fantastic watermelon pink plastic. I did some work on the rifle. You can see some gold on there and some of those decals just to try and make it a little bit more unique and stand out a bit more. The magazine's great, it pops out, and so does this little handle thing, which I never use for my Gundam generally. The little handles for the other hand. And here you can see I used the single spike, but here's the one that opens up for the V-fin, which again I painted gold and used some wash to get in there. This blue pack's lovely. I painted some of the verniers and added some details here and there, and those decals look great on there. It's hard to see decals on the Unicorn because it's just a white Gundam. And then again some more of that custom work, but this time on a bazooka. The bazooka's great. I like the little magazine, and again some more detailing on there. So now we're going to move on to the cage. I know, not the greatest actor of all time. There he is, look at him in his glory. This is kind of like a diorama stand type piece, and as you can see it comes on the standard grey Bandai plastic, the same one that you use for the bazooka for instance. And whilst that's fine, I just wanted to give it a little bit more zhuzh. So what I did was I got a can of gunmetal, Army Painter primer, and I just blasted everything. It's covered everything on the sprue, so when I trimmed it and took it off I could tidy that up. Made it a lot quicker as well. And I hope you agree, I think the results are quite good. It came out quite well. I've added some touches of silver and gold. Those are using Citadel paints primarily. There's some magenta and gold up there on the signs, right at the very top of that cage. And then I gave everything a really unhealthy amount of Nuln Oil. Anybody who makes Games Workshop stuff like Warhammer will know how you've got to be kind of gentle with Nuln Oil, but you kind of don't bother. You always just chuck it on a model. I think it's come out quite well, though it's given it a bit of a weathered look, like it's been used. And again, I think that's kind of the point of this. Here you can see all the paints that I used, and you think, oh, surely not all those colours, but there's the little people. Wanted to paint them up, I don't usually. That's a 2p piece for comparison. You can see how small they are, and I think some of my GW painting came in handy there because they are so small, and it just looks fantastic. Once you've got all the pieces on there, all the little people on the actual cage as well, and it's very much like a diorama, whereas most mobile suits you end up just popping in a pose. This feels like a diorama to me. So final score for the kit. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun build, and all the things I'd heard about MG Unicorns didn't really fit true, so it's a recommended. If you can find one, like I said, I think mine was $68.99 from Gunpla UK. I do recommend them. That's not a bad price for master grade with all these add-ons. So hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one.